So Risto Reinikainen from Telia, and I've been in Telia for 20 years and various positions, line management positions, and then various transformation programs, and then since 2016, head of Lean Agile Center of Excellence. And next one. I hope this is moving. Just let me know.
No.
Frustrated about this. Okay, so about Telia company. So for those who don't know, we are a Nordic telephone company, almost 170 years old, working in Finland, Sweden, Norway, Denmark, Estonia, and Lithuania. Around 20,000 employees, and like over 14 million mobile subscriptions that we have. So that's about the company. And then about our journey. So I will tell you some learnings and experience from our journey towards business agility and lean and agile transformation. So this is showing the starting point. So large number of vendors in different areas and complex IT landscape. Some of our oldest systems being from the 1980s, which are still in use. Mainframe, COBOL code systems. We had lots of assessment forums that were assessing the development items in a different ways, and also a number of independent development portfolios with long lists of projects and items. So depending where you went, you got different priority for your development issues and items. So you never know what you were getting, and mainly those were the lists, huge and mile-long lists of Excels about the projects. Then we made this also this DEVOPS assessment, checking some of our major systems. How good are we in this from the DEVOPS point of view? So assessing like version control and testing, quality assessment, continuous integration, provisioning, builds, and visibility. And as you can see, fairly red here. So just going, okay, let's start DevOps. Wasn't like feasible. So lots of things had to be done, and to make this yellow or even green, and have the whole pipeline green to get it done. So we set off on our journey. So around 2015, we started our first Agile train and with SAFe. So we are now applying SAFe in more or less vanilla version SAFe. And it was a very tedious journey. Not many people who could actually advise us how to do it, and not much knowledge how to do it on ourselves. But we were stubborn and we got it going. So 2016, we were setting up Lean Agile Center of Excellence. And then we got the real hockey stick syndrome, got it going, got lots of people with us working on it, and like really started getting results. But it took, as I said, almost a year and a half before we really get it going. Single operational portfolio 2017, which was also good. So we like prioritize our epics in a good way and got much more visibility to our development. Common cadence and common tools like Jira in place in 2018, and then more and more accelerated the operations in 2019 and 20. So this was our path towards agility in Finland. And if any of the previous sounded like it was easy, I must say that it was not. It was a long and bumpy road. Very slow and frustrating start, and lots of things that we didn't know, and lots of things that didn't know that we didn't know. And not everyone wanted to play this game, weren't happy going like lean and agile, and many people were complacent that this is okay. We are here. Why should we go to SAFe or any lean and agile? The teams were okay. Most of the technical people were okay, but like business and middle management were quite hesitant on this path. And I'm comparing this to the game of hockey, that why this was so difficult. That even if you watched hockey on TV like hours and hours or even years, even if you read the rule book, you still couldn't play the game when you went on ice. So it's like wondering why is it so difficult, but it is like you have to go out, you have to learn by yourself, you have to practice and relentlessly improve. There's no prescriptive method, okay, we read this book or we take safe and it works like that. No, it doesn't, unfortunately. So you have to be very, very persistent. Another thing we noticed, and I'm quoting Dr. Klaus Leopold here, that agile teams have nothing to do with business agility. I'm pretty much agreeing with Klaus Leopold here. So there's so many other things that have to be in place. We are building on agile teams, of course, but so many other things like the governance model and how do you do the prioritization, how do you do funding of your development and target setting, and who's making the decisions and where, and how do you do the reporting. So true business agility means that you have to have top-down and bottom-up approach, have all of them in place, and including training and vendor management and tools and agile contracts. So quite a few things have to change. There's not much that is not changed a lot in this journey. But luckily, pretty soon when we got it going, we started to getting tangible results. So product development efficiency improvements, close to 40% fairly soon, improved visibility to key stakeholders. So business was really seeing what they are getting at and get more value with the same capex spent. And also our stakeholders quite happy, employees quite happy the way things are going. And I would say we get better control for the whole product development process with this one. And on the left here, you see the delivery accuracy or predictability figures. I think we started around 30-40%, and now we are above 90% predictability, which I would say is very good when you are running a business, so you know what you're getting. And this was on Telia Finland. Then we started expanding. 17, 18, we got safe first implementations in Estonia and Lithuania. And since the beginning of last year, the whole Telia company with all these 6 countries. And going corporate-wide, once again, we thought, okay, easy, we have been practicing a lot in Finland and Estonia, Lithuania. Just go and do it. Why? What's so difficult about it? But it certainly was. It was like playing a different game with different rules. We thought that like with Estonia, Lithuania, we all of us using SAFe. It would be easy, but then we realized that we have been implementing in a somewhat different way and playing in different levels. So it wasn't that easy. Sweden, Norway, Denmark were having totally different rules. And when you think of 6 countries with very different maturity levels, different legacy systems, different processes, different market positions, and products and services, lots of things had to happen in a good way, lots of things. And we wouldn't go into that we waited somebody to actually, that everybody is there. No, we needed to keep going into countries like Finland and Estonia, Lithuania, and the other ones have needed to catch up. That's what we are actually doing at the moment. One of the ways we addressed this was this Lean Agile Center of Excellence, LACE, with hub and spokes mode. So one thing was to agree on the rules of the game, and using the ice hockey analogy here, somebody had to say that how do you actually play? How many players on the field? What are the rules? How we can be compatible? So creating guidelines, ways of working, alignment and collaboration, and also coaching and mentoring. And also centrally, we were creating objective metrics. What is, for instance, lead time? How do you do the value stream identification, and so on? And then spokes, like comparing the coach to the spoke to the coach. So telling close by how you play the game, when you play offense, when you play defense, who are the players on the field. So driving the implementation and supporting close by with different roles and ceremonies like PI planning, inspect and adapt value stream identification, close by support, and also all the time with relentless improvement in sight. Where we are now is like we are having these portfolios in all the countries and some common portfolios, and around 20 agile release trains within Telia. We are aiming to have somewhere around 25, 28 agile release trains all together eventually within the company. Then I go to some of the lessons learned during this journey. So I would say number one is like you have to have the business and customer focus. This is who you are doing it for, not for yourself, not for IT. It's the business and customer. And this guides many of your decisions in the right direction. Does it bring value to the customers? Is it the right thing to do? And then clearly defined scopes. With this corporate context, it's very difficult to get things moving if you don't have a clear scope and tell why you are doing it, what you are doing, when you are doing it. So clearly define what is the scope. And also a clear structure and operating model. And here I would say that SAFE gave us this like lingua franca, where to go, instead of like creating our own rules and our own framework, using somebody else's that was like designed it and thought about it and have the best practices. It helped a lot. For the other lessons we have learned is that it's about trust and transparency. This is not so prescriptive model that you just can tell people what to do, but you have to trust people and you have to bring the transparency in game and communicate all over and over again. And if you are looking, and I think most of the companies are looking for this business agility, it can be only obtained when you are really thinking of the end-to-end approach. How does it work? The whole flow of value go through the company. And I keep hearing that this is so complex and SAFE looks complex. Running an enterprise this size, it is complex. It's a complex task. And implementing SAFE, it doesn't solve all your problems, but it exposes many of them that they can be solved. I would say management support for transformation is crucial. It will be a multi-year undertaking anyway. I would say 3 to 5 years still ahead of us. So we need very strong support from the management. It will not be an easy ride. There's lots of obstacles, changing business priorities and so on. So management had to have very clear vision where to go, where to take it. I'm also saying that this strong implementation team lays is essential for success. Dedicated people who have time, experience, and passion to drive this forward. I would say that is crucially important. Community's practice have also proven extremely useful. There's no way this lays, since we have like 4 or 5 full-time people, can do the instructions and spread the good word. But there are hundreds of people who have been practicing, like working in teams, working in different roles, who can spread the information and do the sparring with the other ones, like release train engineer cops or scrum master cops or product owner cops, have been very valuable here. And I think the previous speaker talked about that you can't copy somebody else's. You are not Netflix unless you are Netflix. So every implementation is unique, but you can learn from the others, but you have to build your own. And don't even look for the perfect plans. There's no perfect plans for development, for implementation. So you have to have the intent, good idea, where to take it, and then start doing it and start learning. Also, don't be too ambitious. Like doing too much too fast will ruin your transformation. You have to give yourself time to reflect and learn and maybe change your plans according to those learnings, and then go forward. And maybe you go in the wrong direction, and then you have to have the possibility to actually take something back and change the direction. And I would say also the training the people on all the levels is super important. So they would understand why they are doing this. Not only tell them what and how, but absolutely why this is important, why we are doing stuff like we are doing. And as in this hockey analogy that I was using, you just have to go out there and play. It helps if you understand the rules of the game. It helps if you understand the strategy and the targeted objectives, but only way to learn is go out there and play. So I hope you heard at least some of this.
Excellent.
Sorry for this.
No problem, no problem.
As well in the beginning.
No, we got there in the end. So, I mean, that was good, Risto, and we've got a good while for at least 8 minutes for questions. So I think let's get to some of them. There's one question. Based on the presentation, this seems like the whole transformation was driven top down. Was it really, or was there any drive/collaboration from the actual teams bottom up?
Absolutely, it wasn't starting top down. It was like I said, bottom up and top down. So we started with agile teams. We built our train. We started learning and practicing with these ceremonies, and then of course we had to involve the management to actually start changing the portfolio practices and the funding models. But absolutely top down, bottom up. This cannot manage. This will not succeed with top-down approach. You have to involve the people and listen to them and let them learn.
Okay. Another question. Did you successfully replace monolith applications with microservices?
We are on our way there. It's as everybody can understand, it's a very difficult task. Our huge monoliths are like so amoeba-like. We have been developing them like tens of years, so it takes time. And also when you think of the investments, you have to think when are they feasible, when can you actually use the microservices, shall you dump the monoliths altogether? So different strategies apply here very much.
Okay.
But we are still on the way, absolutely not replaced all our monoliths.
Okay. A few more questions here. Why was the hub and spoke model used for the LACE setup?
One of the reasons was that there was such a different maturity levels, and this company working in 6 countries. So to spread the information in a good way. So hub, as I told, thinking of the compatibility issues, how we can play the same game in the same way. How can we share the best practices and learnings, and also agree about tools that we are compatible. But then again, you have to be close by into countries that are implementing it. To exactly try to avoid this top-down approach that somebody in the middle is telling you, Norway, do this, or Sweden, you have to do this. It doesn't work. You have to be there with the people, with the teams, with actual people to actually interact and consider the local circumstances.
Yeah.
So,
and also
sense of the 5-year plans in Soviet Union didn't work, and here either. So no central Yeah.
Excellent.
Sorry.
I was just sort of saying, perhaps also, having the country to have a sense of ownership in the change that is happening.
Exactly, absolutely so.
Cool. Another question, did you manage to get senior management into the LACE?
Not in the LACE, but like supporting this one. So it took some time. In some countries, it went faster than the other countries, and I've truly understand and appreciate that there are like so heavy business priorities for some people that they can't put much time on it. But eventually, but not like all the way the same way, all the country the same way. But more or less appreciation nowadays. It's like, yes, we need to do this. This is good stuff, and get it going.
Cool.
Okay. It's a challenge to get the top management involvement. It takes time, and for many of them, it's like a quite different kind of thinking, like distributing the decision-making power somewhere else, and different kind of reporting and different kind of planning cycle.
Excellent. There was how did you get everybody, also the ones who initially didn't want SAFE, how did you get them all involved? I think that was Chilo's question.
I would say it's little by little. So trying to produce the results and like guerrilla marketing. So some of the trains were like producing quite good results. Some of the teams were quite happy spreading the good word. It doesn't like work that I will tell this is good stuff, go there. But if somebody else is doing, like via communities or practice, like okay, this works, this has worked for us. So this helps a lot in communicating. So but like get the coders, get the designers, get the scrum masters, product owners tell the other people that it works, it's better than the old way.
Okay. One more question. Would you say Telia is using both DevOps and SAFE? I see mostly SAFE methodology in the presentation.
Those two are inseparable. So DevOps is very strongly built into SAFE, absolutely. So it's part of it. So I don't see the separation in itself.
Okay, but your answer is Telia is using DevOps.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Is that okay? Okay.
It doesn't work without DevOps. Strong DevOps thinking, it doesn't work.
Excellent. Thank you so much for your time, Risto.